Yeah, a little bit of left to right wind and really showing how firm these greens are right now.
The LPGA has his back on their schedule.
You saw Akie Iwai with that putt. And for Akie, of course, all of these courses are new. The rookie from Japan. And for Charley, who joined the LPGA Tour a little over a decade ago, she is experiencing the El Camaleon course for the first time, Kay.
Yeah, it's easy to say that this is a pretty level playing field, except for some of the Mexican women who have played this course occasionally through the years. A lot of players seen it for the first time. So I'm really curious how they're going to adapt to this course and the conditions.
So Pognanon out in front. Crowder is a shot back. This is the last chance to get into the U.S. Women's Open. Charley will be there next week at Erin Hills. But, for those who 5-7. Akie Iwai, we saw that long putt a moment ago. She did roll that short one in for par. This is the par putt for Charley.
This is where Charley's very underrated. We can talk about her long game, her ball striking, the speed that she creates with the driver. This is honestly where she is just deadly. It's kind of from, I would say, 4 to 8 feet. Hoping I'm not giving the commentators curse then. Obviously not in the middle, but yeah, this is where she's just so good, and very underrated putter is our Charles.
Just a moment ago, breaking news from the LPGA at the 8th, up to the 9th tee in Charley.
One of the fastest players on tour, gets right up over the shot. Love her approach to the game. Solid driver of the golf ball.
I think she's got one of the fastest
His
recoils
fairways in
golf
general
as
are
well.
pretty narrow.
Yeah, I agree. We need the TrackMan on the recoil.
It would be quicker than the club speed, I can guarantee.
Charley's going to go ahead.
Yeah, Charley after a beautiful drive, just 136 yards left. Trying to flight that one down a little bit.
Let's get up to the 10th.
30.
All right, Kay said she loves Charley's approach to golf. How about Charley's approach to life, Mel?
I mean, is there anyone any better than Charley Hull? I'm a big fan. I think most people are a big fan of Charley Hull. If you're not, there's something wrong with you.
I know Kay is.
I think the greatest thing about her is there's no filter. She just gives it to you straight up. And she's got a great sense of humor.
Well, she is British, Kay. Of course, she's got a good sense of humor. Tested practice round. So, but yeah, I think you just take a little bit more notes, maybe around the greens. You probably have a bit more of a pre kind of game chat with your caddy on courses, just so that we're 100% on the same page. That's really the only thing, and I do a lot of kind of around the greens more than courses.
Anything you win should be just a slight bit in, but mostly just left to right. Yeah, just 2 or 3 yards left, looks good.
Short par 3, only 131 yards, and that hole is up in the front right portion. My understanding, Mel, is that Charley came in late and she just played the back 9 of the Pro-Am, so never saw the front 9, if I got that right.
It's not unusual, though,
I was
Charley.
about to say, Kate, you talking to me like that doesn't happen on a weekly basis.
It doesn't seem to matter.
She puts a lot of trust.
What? Here is Charley Hull from earlier. This was at the 6th as we show you some of the action from this morning wave. Leave that flag stick in.
Yeah, she leaves a flag stick in on everything.
Have that for birdie. And here's Charley on the tee, 11.
Yeah, the wind picking up a little bit, helping slightly, and a little left to right. So she's going to try to take this down the left center of the fairway. Should get a little left to right kick in the fairway as well. Ideally, with the back left hole location, it's better to come in from the right side of the fairway, but that was, I think, straight always trumps everything.
And now Charley.
Kind of feels like the wind is really just dead down helping. This just a flick of a lob wedge. Oh, beautiful shot. That's the way you control the golf ball.
Yeah,
easier to do out of the fairway.
Yeah, certainly is. She judged that beautifully there, didn't she, Kay?
All right. That's dense in Mexico. And of course, Lorena Ochoa, who's been here this week, our unofficial host, she had the tournament named for her after she retired.
Yeah, and I think that Lorena Ochoa, not just for the Mexican players, which is a given, but I think for LPGA players in general. You know, when she won in 2007 at the Women's British at St Andrews, I won top amateur, and that's the first time I actually met her in person, and she could not have been more friendly and just generally just an unbelievable human being. She did so much for women's golf, and it's great to have a tournament back here in Mexico and having her around as well.
Charley for a short birdie. Kay, I know you got the chance to see Lorena yesterday.
I did. It was so good to see her. She's one of my all-time favorite people, much less golfers. And I have so much respect for her. And she was in good spirits, playing in the Pro-Am.
And we'll hear from Lorena.
It's too good and too smart. Golf smart.
Here they are.
Yeah, it's
The comedy team of Ads and Charles. See if we can hear it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean 38 from probably playing over 45. Yeah, it should be one.
A lot of knowledge in that head. There's our Adam. Even his hat won't fit his head, look. The wind's not into it, it'd be blowing straight off.
Yeah, just 136 yards. Play a little bit longer. Good angle from that right-hand side, but she's let this leak out to the right. Not going to hurt her too much, though. You can't get proper Mexican food in England, and that was one of the big reasons that brought her here to this tournament.
Oh, she likes that Mexican food, innit? You can get Mexican food in the UK, obviously not as good as Mexico, but that's just Charley. That's how she dictates her tournaments then, is it? It's just by the quality of the food that she likes.
She did say she likes
the hotels.
Well, and she said, how quickly can I get back home? She'll say, I'll go for a couple of weeks, then when I get back home, I'm homesick.
The support that they get week in, week out in the LPGA is incredible.
Charley now, the comebacker.
Quite a lot more to this par putt than she would have liked, and that's a bit of a sloppy bogey right there.
And yet just 3 shots off the lead. Mayakoba is a stiff test here so far.
It is a very stiff test. I thought it was going to...
Now we've got a second shot here for Charley at this par 5 13th.
Charley absolutely tagged drive and going to have an opportunity to get on this par 5 and 2, the only one in the group to do so. Lopez and Iwai both hit it in the right fairway bunker and it laid up. 205 to the front, 210 to the hole. That looked pretty solid, and it's a good line.
Oh, like that. All over the flag. And Charley's going to have that for eagle. That would be to tie and get within 1 of the lead at the moment.
Hybrid in hand here. Lovely high ball flight. This pin is only 5 on, and then it lands with butterfly with sore feet, doesn't it? Beautiful golf shot.
He pitched a little right. I mean, that looked promising, maybe for a 2. Had a 2 from Yan Liu earlier this year at the Chevron Championship. Albatross. You prefer albatross, right? I mean, that's what you say. Not
that's
the
what it
double
is.
eagle, yeah.
No, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's an albatross.
Says the English.
One of the best of the day.
All right, so here is Charley for eagle.
And this is what's so fun about her. She's fast to play. She's dynamic. She's powerful. Akia Iwai par, Mr. Birdie Putt. This from inside 3 feet. Oh no. That's a shame. Mel, how does that happen?
I used to do it quite a lot, Kay, so you're asking the wrong person.
Well, still a fist bump for Adam Caddy, but a 3-putt bogey at 12, and then the All right, after the birdie at 13, on the tee at 14, Charley Hull.
She's going to go ahead and use driver here, back into the wind. Fairway does run out, Mel, at 275 yards.
So players, I think, happy to give themselves a decent look at birdie.
Charley second at 14.
Taking a full swing at it, and a really nice shot.
Charley at 14.
And Charley's inside 30 feet, and from this range, I think she ought to be able to control the speed pretty well. Maybe give it a legitimate chance without it getting away from her.
Have you putted with the flagstick yet?
It's not for me.
No.
Grant, it's not for me. It puts me off, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I'll do it with my buddies at home, but no, I hate it.
Pete out there in Utah. Here's Charley. She'll be playing for Anna next year in the Netherlands.
Well, you just can't imagine a Solheim Cup team without Charley Hull on it. She is such an asset. Has pulled out a 7-iron here. Wind mostly cross, feeling like it's hurting a tad as well. Gonna try to land this 140, 145. Try to keep it up the right-hand side because everything pushes down to the left.
Where is it? Just going to hang on to that left side of that green there, Kay. On a very difficult 16th hole.
At 15, Charley Hull with a long one for birdie.
And dealing with tough wind, hurting left to right wind on this putt.
Putter was barely an F club.
Oh, like a 3/4 backswing, didn't it?
At the 15th with the wind whipping right there next to the water. Par putt for Charley.
This is where I really don't get her keeping the flag stick in when the wind is blowing and that stick is moving around. Doesn't seem to phase her.
Not much does it?
I don't think anything phases Charley Hull, to be honest. Except if you go somewhere without a gym, that's starting to phase her a little bit. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Slow play, maybe.
Oh, she hates a bit of slow.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. I hate a bit of slow
I
play
know,
as
I
well.
know.
No, we knew it was going to play tough with this wind. And as Kay said, like, tee shots like this make it so tricky when it's going, you know, right to left. It narrows out.
Right to left
Visually,
down.
it looks very narrow. But then you've got the wind to contend with as well, which is blowing off the right, which makes like a 25-yard fairway about 7 yards. We've barely seen any players hit it on the fairway here, unless you lay up short, which is then a very difficult approach shot anyway, let alone having another 40 yards back.
Charley's under parquet. That's a good score today.
Well, it sure is. I think anything par or better, you'd be very happy with.
Uh-oh.
Charley going with less than driver. Not going to the right, but she's okay. She'll have that longer shot in, but she's safe. I think it's...
Always. All right. Not necessarily the penthouse suite position for Charley Hull here, but she is dry at the moment. Second shot.
Can't really see the flag stick blocked out by the trees on the right. In fact, she clipped the trees and shrubs on the right. May end up in that right bunker. Kind of needed to hit more of a cut shot from there.
Then the par 5 18th. 4 under, setting the pace. Charley's third at 16K.
Yeah, that was always going to be a difficult shot, and I think she was guarding against hitting it on the thin side, because there is a penalty area over this green.
So great about this tournament. A lot of players posting about things outside of golf, and that's when you know you're in a good place.
Charley for par.
I really misjudged that one. It's not in for the bogey.
Just to see her old friend this week. Charley for bogey at 16. Take care.
No.
Ooh, okay, little victory lap.
Alright.
She'll tell Adam all about it. He'll say,
Buddy, missed a bit of footy. How do you play, Kay?
I was guiding them around the golf course and being a very good hostess.
I like to hear it.
Their English, by the way, is getting better by the day. They are an absolute delight to have on the LPGA Tour, and both are outstanding players. I think we're going to see one, if not both, in the winner's circle. Who knows? Maybe this week for one of them.
And Charley giving it a nice straight rip down the middle. Well done.
And now Charley.
10 yards ahead from the right-hand side of the fairway, just 110 to the hole, playing more like 95, 100. And she's pretty good with her wedges.
She's pretty good with everything, Kay.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I can hit half. I can hit my gap wedges. I can hit my gap wedges as short as I want to hit it. You know what I mean? That's not the problem. Never be scared of me going long.
Yeah. Perfect leave.
Chance to match 68. Charley for birdie.
Oh, she's a little bit of a misread. So all three players with 2-putt pars. I'm giving Charley this one, but it's not quite in yet.
Flag stick out.
You know, you guys talk about 16 and 18. I talked to a couple players, Maria Fassi and Leona Maguire, who played in the World Amateur Team Championship that was here in 2016. And 16 was a par 5 and 18 was a par 4. So it's been known to have those pars and holes flipped.
Fortunate to have that angle unencumbered by the trees. Back on the tee, this was Charley's tee shot.
Well, this hole is made for her, except now. Wow, she hit that right to right, Mel.
Uh-oh.
She does have that in her, Charley, when she goes after it a little bit. She knew straight away, hand off the club, pointed way right.
She gonna, so a provisional tee shot for Charley.
Disappointed with that. She's got a good chance of giving herself an eagle opportunity if she gets that first drive away, but this one looks to be perfect.
She could still make par if she can't
Definitely
find that
could.
tee shot.
Look at those three.
Guia's had a couple of close calls, and Chisato now in the best position she's been in after any round in her rookie season. Well, so Charley did find her original tee shot. That's her second. That was fortunate.
Very fortunate. I thought that was gone.
Charley Hull with her third at 18.
Wedge in hand, 132 yards downwind. Pulled that a tad. This is a very small green, and it's quite slender.
Look what she does there with that chip. I've seen so many times you can't really pitch it into the fringe, which is what makes it so tricky to judge around here when you do miss greens. We'll see what Charley does there.
Akia's won 6 times on the JLPGA. Chisato has 8, including one this year. Charley now, 4th shot.
Oh, that was a delicate little shot. Love the way that she played that, Mel.
She
Thought
played
it
that.
would release out a little more.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with you, Kay. She played that very, very well. Open the face, slid it under, nice aggressive swing, which is what you got to keep doing with these little delicate shots. Even though they're short, delicate, you got to keep the acceleration through the ball, otherwise you just stub it, and that's the worst you can do on these shots.
That'll be a part. She'll have a chance to reconvene with family and have a meal and do some practicing, get ready for the afternoon wave tomorrow, and make the cut. Who knows? We'll see. Charley now for par.
This would be quite the memorable par. Thought she was going to be lost in the jungle, and instead gets to write 5 down on the scorecard. Well done.
I think she would have taken that about 15 minutes ago, wouldn't she?
Yeah. When you think about this run of great golf,